Hi, everybody. Dave Clark from InspectCheck.net. Welcome. Today, I want to talk a little bit about a deck. Actually, it's a balcony that I inspected. And we do have some good white papers on that in our blog. You can get that through InspectCheck.net. And I just want to talk about what I saw. So it was not only I didn't like the way it was built, it was unorthodox. Obviously, it was still standing and people were using it, but I just want to go over some of the things that I recommended, and I'll show it to you, of course. As far as the deck inspection goes, one of the things that I recommend as to home inspectors, and I also give this information to my clients, is that just because it's a deck or a balcony or anything, a patio, an elevated patio, whatever you want to call it, my standard is the same as any other floor structure. So if we're going to use for that particular span and on-center spacing a 2x10, I'm not going to say, well, it's just a deck, so we'll just go with a 2x8. And I know some people may disagree with that, but I feel that the way I would build a floor structure with support, with the proper size members, the proper fasteners, because we're outside, right? We want to use the galvanized or stainless steel, even better, fasteners. We're not going to use drywall screws to put the deck together, or nails that will rust. I build it, I build them too, right? But my recommendation is the same. So I think that's the easiest way to convey that message. So if you ever have any questions on deck building, I know there's been a lot of white papers written, and again, I told you we have one. I would just refer right to the National Building Code on what you would use for any other floor, including spans and on centers, for any other floor structure in a house or anything else. So simple as that. So with that said, let me share my screen with you. I want to show you this picture. There you go. Okay. So here it is. I'm going to mark this up, and maybe we'll use a yellow. All right, so we're looking at second floor. In this case, it's a balcony, it's a brick house. It's a solid brick house, actually. And we'll take a look at a few things that I pointed out and what my recommendations were. The first thing is, here's a ledger board. I can't really tell how it's attached. It doesn't appear to be attached with the proper fasteners. Again, how is it bolted onto that brick structure? I don't know. You can't really see from the inside, but from the outside, sometimes you can get an idea. I can't see anything. It looks to me like it's just screwed in, maybe with something much smaller, a smaller type of masonry screw of some sort. It's really tough to tell. The other part of the problem is, if you look how this is supported, really, what is supporting this? Well, of course, these three, right, posts are supporting it. Looks like this one has broken. Doesn't look like it. It has broken. So I'm not sure if it's settled and then they put these in. But really, what's supporting this whole structure is this 2x8 and this in the center and this. Okay. So I'm going to just undo that for a second, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And what they did was they staggered these. You could kind of see, you could see a nail there, but they're just back nailed. I don't really see, there's no joist hangers, and then they staggered these. See how they staggered them? So they back nailed here, and then they back nailed there. So what's really holding this up are these three posts, right? And I don't have a lot of faith in them. They're 2x4s. I would recommend at this height 6x6s for sure. I would run it a completely different way. Okay, what I would run it is I would put our ledger, and again, fasten it properly on masonry. You don't want to use just a masonry fastener. You might want to go through to the other side and put a cleat behind it. You have to really take a look at some drawings to see what an engineer would recommend for that. But we're not going to just fasten that in like we would, on a rim joist. Of course, we're always going to check the flashing. That's an issue right there. But my recommendation is a proper attachment here. Let me say that, ledger board. And then I would run the joists this way, okay? And whatever that distance is, I run them here. And then probably either to an LVL at the front. This would be, an LVL going all the way across. here. And joist hangers also on that side, or maybe back nailed into one, and then also joist hangers. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Again, you're up high, so you want to be as safe as possible. And whatever the span calls for, and I would think in this it would probably call for a 2x10, unless you had a mid-span support, but we don't. I would go with a 2x10, whatever that floor span called for over that distance. The other part of the equation is, what is this header going to be, right? What's the support going to be? Is it going to be, like I said, an LVL or double LVLs or 2x10s? Does it need to be doubled or tripled? And again, the book will tell you, and again, we're not going to get into codes as a home inspector, but we can absolutely say that this is underbuilt, and we recommend that a qualified contractor rebuild it. And if that contractor is going to consult with an engineer, that's even better. So there's a lot of things here, right? A lot of things. Is this attached properly? Is this structural member the correct size? What are these supports? How far do they go into the ground? Again, on a visual inspection, we don't know that, but we're going to rebuild it anyway. So they should be at least 42 to 54 in some areas deep. All right. And what about this support out here? What about this header? What's that going to be, that support? Is it going to be LVLs? Is it going to be double or triple 2x10s? Whatever it is. No, I don't. And joist hangers, always love joist hangers. So that's going to be my recommendation to the client. Okay. So let's take a look here. So how would we report that? So that's what I tell them. You know, there's a lot of other things to look at here. But the bottom line here is, at this point, we don't need to get too deep into the weeds and say, well, we got a 4-inch space here. What size is the decking? What's the condition of that? I don't even really want to go out on this, to be honest with you. But I'm already recommending that it's redone. Okay, I'm saying as it stands, I don't have any faith in it, and I recommend it's redone. So I want to go over to my report. Let's take a look at that.
Okay, heading over to the report, let's take a look. And we're going to head right over to exterior. And we're going to go down to deck. And we're going to put, in this case, it was a rear, mark it complete. And the patio is wood. Mark it complete. I'm not going to put satisfactory, and not, again, we had talked about some of the issues going on. There's definitely some settling. But let's go down over here. Definitely from settling to the supports, right? It looked like one was separated or cracked altogether, and the other one was separated. I'm just not a big fan. I'm going to go right over here to rebuild the balcony or structure. In this case, the balcony structure should be rebuilt, or it is replaced. I already put that in because this was coming from another training. It's not safe in its current condition. Structure appears to be underbuilt. Seek evaluation. Now, Inspect Check already populated that. And this says the structure. We just added balcony, and that's about it. Just a couple other things. And we're also put it in our necessary repair or further evaluation column, because that's what we want them to do. Okay, don't have any faith in it. This would be a great place to add maybe that picture of it, so whoever the contractor is that's coming in can see it and make that repair. So I think that's really the best way to report on this. I'm not a fan of it. Let's get it done. And you could go to this column, says some repair, close monitoring, where there's some minor movement, but I think I'm going to go with settling, just because of the way I saw those posts and just because of the way I saw it's built. I don't trust that ledger board either. So that is the way I would do it.
So we can talk about the proper way to build a deck, and we will do that. I'm just not here. I just wanted to show you that, because you look at that and they're using it, and so they're saying, well, we've been using it. It's, it seems to be okay. But it's just not the way I like it. And as a home inspection, and there may be people that disagree with me, and that's fine, but it's a home inspection. And so they're paying for my professional opinion. And after 30 years of doing this, my professional opinion is that I think it should be rebuilt. I don't like it. Can you probably try to shore it up and go through all that? Maybe. I don't have any faith in the posts out in front of it. And it's my recommendation that that should be rebuilt. So we showed you that, showed you how to report on it. I hope this helped you out a little bit when you get into these kind of sketchy, home builds, if you will. Thanks for watching. If you would please subscribe to the channel, so you'll get new videos as I make them. I'm out there, when I'm out there in the field, I've got so many pictures and so many videos in that. I'd love to share them with you. So just please subscribe. I can also there'll also be links to this on homeinspectortrainingonline.com and of course inspectcheck.net. And I'll see you next time.